So guys, this APC chieftain is crying foul after feeling cheated by the judiciary. Shebi they say it's turn by turn. It is his own turn now. When we say that the judiciary was not being fair to the Nigerian people, people were saying that, oh, is it because Peter Obi is not the president? Now the APC members themselves, they are feeling the heat. He has come out to accuse the judges and all that. Let me just allow you watch this video for yourself.
Give Senator Ahmed Lawan money. Today in your court, the moment matter go into the court of appeal today, it becomes something else. Children of judges, flawed, either petitioners or respondents, agents of judges, flawed politicians, asking you to go and settle the judges. This is not the renewed hope of Mr. President. Mr. President, you came under the renewed hope mantra, meaning before you renew somebody's hope must have died. You are renewing the hope of Nigerians in the country called Nigeria. This is not the renewed hope. And we trust, Mr. President, that you will continue renewing the hope of Nigerians. We have seen you.
So guys, the truth about the judicial betrayal in Nigeria is yet to unfold. Some of the top secrets will be leaked by these APC people who think it favored them now. So you can see this man is already crying. Let me allow you watch further.
Accept defeat. We must accept that certain things are right and certain things are wrong. And we make do with the wrong ones and try to correct them in the future. 16 members of the Plateau House of Assembly we are sacked illegally, arbitrarily, perversely, criminally, and today the Plateau is burning. The state of the Court of Appeal President, my colleagues in the Senate was sacked. Accept defeat. We must accept that certain things are right and certain things are wrong, and we make do with the wrong ones and try to correct them in the future. 16 members of the Plateau House of Assembly we are sacked illegally, arbitrarily, perversely, criminally, and today the Plateau is burning. The state of the Court of Appeal President, my colleagues in the Senate was sacked by the Court of Appeal. But the other one, election was arranged for the other one because some higher people intervened. Are you listening to me? A.V. Mbali, who defeated my brother, the Governor Lalong, with over 51,000 votes gap between them. I defeated with 51,000 votes. And now you are the senator. What is the offense? That the primary of Plateau State, the convention of Plateau State was not well conducted. And the Supreme Court have now ruled in favor of the governor. What happened to the people that the tribunal and the Court of Appeal removed? Two judgments by one panel. One judge say they should go back and conduct another election. That is the one for Matcom, Senator Matcom. And the one for Senator A.V. Mbali, the general, they say they should take it away from him. 69 polling units out of 4,104 polling units. But in my own central district, 924 polling units, a judge in this country cancelled election in 253 polling units in one central district and did not order our own election. Just because they know I want those places, just because they know if election is conducted today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, till Jesus come, I will still win. They say there will be no election, and they cancel it there. That is perverse. We have kept quiet for long and see some judicial bandits become threat to Nigeria's democracy. And it's time for us to begin to hold judiciary liable. Because if today a doctor doctor's negligence, a patient died in the hospital. That doctor or medical worker will be prosecuted for negligence. If a driver is driving a car and through the fault of the driver, he killed somebody, the driver may be arraigned for manslaughter. Why are judges above the law? That they will deliberately occasion a miscarriage of justice and nobody hold them responsible. Are they above the law? Do you need to be in the good book of a judge, or you need to be on the side of the law? The answer is simple. Citizens should be on the side of the law, not in the good book of a judge. And the judge who gave the skewed and perverse judgment, who actually, three of her recent judgment is against the judgment she gave. Her own judgment, she went against her own judgment in my own case, was nominated to go to the Supreme Court. I have written to the president today, and I'll read a letter to the president. We don't need those kind of character in the Supreme Court. We don't need it. I have petitioned the president to stop her swearing as a court of the Supreme Court. And I have also written to the Nigerian Judicial Council, NJC, today, and I'm calling on the NJC to investigate this case. Like I said before, if a medical doctor killed a patient through his negligence, then that judge, that medical doctor, will face a panel. If a driver killed someone due to negligence, that driver will be punished. Judges must begin to be punished. Ladies and gentlemen, I will read the letter that I sent to the president. There may be it's similar to the one I sent to NJC about the three judges. It's just that the one I sent the three judges to the NJC is to investigate them and to punish them for deliberately miscarriage of justice. And I want to also add quickly that judges and MBA, you have to stand up and protect the law. And I'm calling on good lawyers. I have received call from senior lawyers, very senior lawyers in this country, who say they are tired of legal profession. They want to change law. They want to change profession because it is not again who know the law. It is not again about the law. It is not again about the hardworking lawyers, but who knows his ways around judges that wins election. Don't leave this profession for bad lawyers. The good judges out there, don't give up and feel as if the bad judges who override your good judgment are having a field day. No. Don't become corrupt. Don't become bad like the corrupt judges. To the President of the Court of Appeal, because you are not mentioned in this letter, to the President of the Court of Appeal, let it be on record that it is during your time as the President of the Court of Appeal that the Court of Appeal descended into the abyss of caricature. There has never been time in the history of the Court of Appeal that the Court of Appeal became a catch and carry point, a POS point, like as in your own time. And I want the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Damsa, to know that I screened you as a Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in June 2020. Your CV was forwarded to us. I have your CV with me. We screened you. Despite all the hullabaloo against your nomination, we look at you and decided based on the merit and the document before us, and we confirmed you in the Senate. Did I take money from you? Have I asked you to give me any money as a senator before I screened you, I pass you? I could have objected. When you visited the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan, that time, in the Senate President Lodge, official Senate President Lodge in Maitama on that Thursday by 8 p.m. I was there. I received you in the Senate President Lodge. Did I ask you for money? Did you give Senator Ahmed Lawan money? Today in your court, the moment matter go into the Court of Appeal today, it becomes something else. Children of judges, flawed, either petitioners or respondents, agents of judges, flawed politicians, asking you to go and settle the judges. This is not the renewed hope of Mr. President. Mr. President, you came under the renewed hope mantra, meaning before you renew somebody's hope must have died. You are renewing the hope of Nigerians in the country called Nigeria. This is not the renewed hope. And we trust, Mr. President, that you will continue renewing the hope of Nigerians. We have seen you act swiftly in the Better Edu Gate scandal. You moved swiftly. And we also believe that you will move swiftly on this matter. Gentlemen, may I now read. See President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. President, petition against the nomination of Justice Chioma Ihime Nwosu, JCA, to the Supreme Court. Mr. President, stop her swearing in. Your Excellency, I write to petition your exalted office against the nomination of Justice Chioma Ihime Nwosu, JCA, to the Supreme Court and her subsequent rushed clearance by the Senate when Nigerians were enjoying their holiday on 23rd December 2023, which just took 25 minutes. They say Justice Chioma Ihime Nwosu is the Justice of the Court of Appeal who gave the lead judgment in a deliberately skewed and perverse judgment in the appeals, with appeal number this between Reverend Amos Kumai Yohana and others, and Ishiaku Elisha Cliff and others, and that of my cousin, Honorable Jingi Rufai, with appeal number this between Rufai Magaji, between Jafar Magaji and Jingi Kwaja at the Court of Appeal. Hence the need for this petition. These two perverse judgments, Mr. President, by Justice Chioma Nwosu Ihime were targeted particularly against me to illegally remove me from the Senate and to remove my brother from the House of Representatives in a judicial coup against our nascent democracy in a bid to destroy my political growth and my political network. I waited this long, Mr. President, for the Supreme Court to decide in the judgment of Kano State governorship election, where the Court of Appeal wrongfully deducted about 165,616 votes against the NPP candidate. Mr. President, my case. On the 16th day of October, the Court of Appeal, in a unanimous decision, set aside the judgment of the National and State House of Assembly Tribunal sitting in Yola and subsequently sacked me as the Senator of Adamawa North. I could have appealed, as was done in the case of Kano and Plateau States, but the law restricts National Assembly from going to the Supreme Court. For the sake of clarity, I shall now point out how the judgment was not in conformity with the spirit and letters of our electoral jurisprudence as recently declared in the Kano governorship election as I quoted above, but rather a deliberate miscarriage of justice. The recent judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria in the Kano governorship election further exposed the injustice meted against me and against my brother by Justice Chioma Nwosu Ihime, who unjustly cancelled election in 253 polling units with 155,800 registered voters and deducted 57,775 valid votes to justify her judicial coup d'etat. For the records, I want gentlemen of the press and Mr. President to note the following. The appellants, who were the petitioners at the trial tribunal, went to court to seek my nullification on two grounds. Ground one, that the election was invalid by reason of corrupt practices and or non-compliance with the provision of the Electoral Act. Two, that the first respondent was not duly elected by majority of legal vote cast in the election. My counsel, Mr. President, raised an objection that corrupt practices and criminal offense cannot be lumped. Corrupt practices, being a criminal offense, cannot be lumped together with non-compliance, which is a civil offense. Therefore, the petition is incompetent and should be thrown out. In order to save the petition, the counsel to the petitioners promptly withdrew ground one. Withdrew ground one as captured in page 553 of the record of proceedings, meaning that they went to court with only ground two, which is the first responder, that is Senator Abo, was not elected by majority of votes. However, to the surprise of all, Justice Chioma Ngosu Yehime, in determining the propriety otherwise of the appeal, relied on the same ground which was voluntarily withdrawn by the appellants at the trial tribunal in determining section 137 of the Electoral Act to remove me from the Senate in a James Bond-like bold-faced action film judgment. Honorable Justice Chioma Ngosu Yehime, JCA, in her lead judgment, deducted votes that were awarded to me by the electorate on the basis that there were alterations and cancellations on Form EC8A of 253 polling units without equally deducting the one of my opponent. So you cancel the election in a polling unit. You cancel only my own and leave my opponent in a polling unit that you cancel. Who does that? In our democracy, based on our relevant laws and jurisprudence, the INEC is forced to conduct run or supplementary elections if the margin of lead is below the number of registered voters in the polling units that is aborted or cancelled. For example, in Adamawa State Governorship election where I came from, on March 18, 2023, INEC was forced to conduct supplementary election in just 69 polling units out of 4,104 polling units. Representing 1.6% of the total polling units in Adamawa State. But in my own case, Justice Chioma Ngosu Yehime cancelled election in 253 polling units out of 924 polling units of Adamawa and Oda Central District, representing 27% of the total polling units in my Central District, with over 155,000 registered voters, and I repeat, with over 155,800 registered voters and 57,775 valid votes that was cancelled, and then went ahead to declare that my opponent defeated me with 5,000 votes. It is like Nigeria have 36 states and FCT, bringing us to 37 electoral states. It's like INEC should cancel election in 10 states and still went ahead to declare the winner of a presidential election without the votes of the 27% of the states. That's what happened in Adamawa State. under the Court of Appeal, presided over by Monica Tamsa. Let me ask this rhetorical question in repeating the above. How can a judge sitting in a court of justice cancel election in 253 polling units out of 924 polling units, meaning election was cancelled in 27% of the total polling units, cancel 57,705 valid votes, and differentize 155,800 voters, and award the Senate seat to a person she claimed won with 5,000 vote margin in determining section 136, 1A and B of the Electoral Act as amended. No, juju be that. Now, juju be that. It's only a juju that can do that. I want you to ponder on the following. One, out of the 253 polling units, 188 polling units have no cancellation on from EC8A. 188 out of 253 has no cancellation. And where there are cancellation, it was countersigned by the presiding officer. Two, there was no complaint from either party agent, the police or the security, or election observers in all of those polling units. Three, no witness was called to court in those 250 polling. No single one witness came. Four, 8 out of the 253 polling units were merely listed, meaning cancel polling unit A, cancel polling unit number 7, cancel polling unit number 30, but they did not attach one EC8A or EC8B or EC8C, no attached document to back why the polling to be cancelled. 8 of them were mentioned without attaching any paper, yet the judge say cancelled. Whose interest is Justice Chioma Nwosu Ehime and her co-travelers protecting? The interest of the law or of a vested interest? Curiously, the court sat on Thursday, 12th October 2023. By Friday, 13th October 2023, judgment was ready. And on that Friday, she sat in the court from morning to evening hearing other cases. In the evening of that day, they said judgment was ready. A thorough job that took the tribunal 180 days, painstakingly going through every single paper, took Justice Chioma Nwosu 12 hours to determine. What an intelligent woman. I want to agree with Justice Ian Okoro, Justice of the Supreme Court, who in delivering the Kano State governorship election and questioning the legality of deducting 165,616 votes from NPP candidate, who said, and I quote, judges should be more meticulous. End of quote. Your Excellency, in a classical example of working from answer to the question, Justice Chioma Nwosu finished writing judgment in less than 24 hours. What I said earlier took the court of our tribunal 180 days of meticulous hard work. How then can she see that 188 of those EC8 forms that was just dumped on the tribunal have no cancellation on them? How can she see that 8 of those polling units that were asked to cancel, not even a tissue paper was attached as a documentary evidence? How will she see? She will not see. No wonder. The judgment, which I have it here, that Justice Chioma Nwosu read in the court is different from the certified true copy given to us. She didn't know that I sent my staff with my phone, and we recorded her judgment, of which, if you want, I can play it for you here. From the beginning to the end, we recorded her judgment. Then we now ask her to give us the CTC of the judgment. It took us over 2 weeks to get a CTC of the judgment. They were busy amending the judgment after it was read. And I have the record. Like I said, I recorded it in the court. Mr. President, if this judgment is delivered in error or sold out, as reported in the social media, such high-profile errors that led to miscarriage of justice or a case of threatening justice for favors should never be tolerated in our judicial system. The case of my cousin. In the judgment of my cousin and political protege, whom everyone back home knew, my cousin, as my cousin, won election to represent Mubi, my local government, Mubi South, and Meha Federal constituency. The member of the House of Representatives was sacked. My cousin was removed from the House of Representatives because he was taken to court for overvoting. For overvoting to be proven in our law, Beaver's report, voter register, and voter register used for accreditation, and EC8A forms are the minimum requirement. The petitioner, I repeat, the petitioner presented a forged Beaver's report, forgery, a forged Beaver's report. When we realized that he brought a forged Beaver's report, different from the one that was given to us by INEC as certified true copy, we subpoenaed INEC to appear before the tribunal to come with their own Beaver's report as required by the law. The law says only the maker of the document shall present it. And INEC came to court and disowned a forged Beaver's report presented by the petitioner. Yet, Justice Chioma Iheme-Nwosu relied on the forged Beaver's report to send my brother out of the House of Representatives. It is clear that I am the target. And if we continue to tolerate assault on democracy, we will pay for it. Coups are taking place all over Africa, something that we thought we have outgrown. They are rearing their heads back. Why? Is democracy a failure? Is military regime better than democratic regime? No. No. The press should continue to speak against these coup d'etats on democracy. I also ask the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to investigate how Justice Chioma Iheme-Nwosu got to the Supreme Court. In the Southeast, there were 8 nominations from the Southeast. 3 priority judges and 5 reserve judges. Priority is always ahead of the reserve. Judge Chioma Iheme-Nwosu was in the reserve. But when it got to the Supreme Court, priority judges were dropped in favor of a reserve. It never happened because judiciary is a place of seniority and the rule of law. But they dropped priority judges for her. Her handlers are all over going. They say the Governor Ozoduma, Wike, and Akpabio and others, they will cut corners for her. Now it's true. Now, because priority judges, it never happened in the history of the Supreme Court that a priority judge, senior priority judge, is dropped in the favor of a reserve judge. It never happened in the military, never happened in the police, never happened in the judiciary. Only on this matter. This was a woman that was kidnapped in Benin City in 2019. She was kidnapped and she was crying like a baby, and we are all praying for her, for kidnappers to release her. I didn't know when they release her, she will come after me. I didn't know. I even organized prayer for her with my family in their morning devotion. If I know, I wouldn't have prayed. I wouldn't have prayed for her to come and kill me. But we believe in democracy. We believe in the rule of law. Impunity in this country have to end. Go and look at what is happening all over. Southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast, all over. Bandits have taken over. In fact, I watched the press, what do you call it, the media interview granted by one of the most wanted bandits in Nigeria, Truji. Truji said, you took all of my cattle away. You killed my brother. You killed my father. I took you to court, and the person that took out my cattle killed my family, is still roaming the street. You didn't do anything. So what will I do? She said, I have taken the law into my hands. But I will not take the law into my hands. I will continue to stand for the law, and I tell my supporters, stand for the law. Don't break the law. Don't follow what is wrong. But I will continue to fight against judicial bandits. I will fight judicial bandits. This is just the beginning. We have documents that we have worked on. Even to Imo, we have traveled to Imo, we have documents. We will pursue judicial bandits wherever they are, so that Nigerians' democracy will be protected for you and me and my children. We cannot go back to military regime. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you, and God bless the faith. The Lord did not favor me. I will ask for review. No matter how bad and skewed and perverse the judgment is, I am not calling for review. If you call for review, it will open floodgates of reviews. And when you finish that review, another review will also come. We cannot bastardize our laws just because it didn't please us. If we want to practice this democracy, we must accept defeat. We must accept that certain things are right and certain things are wrong. And we make do with the wrong ones and try to correct them in the future. 16 members of the Plateau House of Assembly were sacked illegally, arbitrarily, perversely, criminally, and today Plateau is burning. The state of the Court of Appeal President, my colleagues in the Senate was sacked by the Court of Appeal. But the other one, election was arranged for the other one because some higher people intervened. Are you listening to me? A.V. Mbali, who defeated my brother, the Governor Lalong, with over 51,000 votes gap between them. I defeated with 51,000 votes. And now you are the senator. What is the offense? That the primary of Plateau State, the convention of Plateau State was not well conducted. And the Supreme Court have now ruled in favor of the governor. What happened to the people that the tribunal and the Court of Appeal removed? Two judgments by one panel. One judge say they should go back and conduct another election. That is the one for Matcom, Senator Matcom. And the one for Senator A.V. Mbali, the general, they say they should take it away from him. On the same ground, this somersault and backflips in our judiciary have to end. And every Nigerian is crying. I watched the interview or the written speech of retired Joseph the Supreme Court Mohammed recently, and I weep for this country. Now you are conscious. I've answered my own.
So guys, the judiciary in Nigeria is really a big threat to our democracy. No wonder some obedience are telling Mr. Peter Obi not to run in 2027. Should the judiciary not be transformed, should our constitution, not be touched, should even the electoral acts not be amended, that Peter Obi shouldn't bother running. And also, should the INEC chairman not be removed, Peter Obi shouldn't bother himself running for the election, because the riggers will still rig. The influence they have over the judiciary is still a big threat to our democracy. And now you can see it coming directly from an APC chieftain. He's now crying foul because he feels he has been cheated. He was removed and another person was declared, the senator that won. And he feels cheated because he said they removed his votes and all that. And the judge upheld that he should be sacked. So he's feeling cheated. We really have issues in this country, and you could hear him make reference of two senators with the same issues. One person was asked to leave his position while the other person was allowed to stay on his position. So the law is not being applied on everybody on the same measure. So this is it. That's the problem we have in Nigeria, issues of corruption. I wonder when all this will come to a stop. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Thank you.